Okay, good morning and welcome to day 1B of the FFG European Championships of X-Wing 2019. Let me just pop on screen to say hello to you all. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We've got some interesting games coming up today. Hopefully not as many Jedi as we've seen in the last 48 hours. Way too many of those. But anyway, let's get on over to the table and let you know what we're going to be watching today. We're going to be watching Dale Cromwell, the infamous Duchess of Italy, the Queen of France, from Battle in the United Kingdom, playing Suntifel with Predator, Darth Vader with Fire Control System and Afterburners, and Duchess with Predator and Fifth Brother. Okay, it's a pretty standard list for Dale as well. Dale's kind of famous for kind of playing these three Imperial Aces. Back in first edition with the what's her name, the Countess Ryad and stuff like that. Richard McColm. Julian, what are you doing? Huh? Do you want to commentate Dale's game? Yeah, cool. Well, if you want to take a couple of minutes to get yourself ready, okay? Richard McColm from Ayr in Scotland in the United Kingdom, played for Team Scotland this weekend, the last couple of days at XTC. He's playing five Omega Squadron experts with Fanatical and Advanced Optics. Juice! So it's going to be fun to watch specifically, as we know with Swarms, it's a bit of a difficult game to watch as far as like the planning phase is concerned, because there's a lot of thinking time goes into moving the Swarm as a cohesive unit, and especially when they divide up and there's rocks in the way and there's enemy ships, and there's a lot of thinking to be done before you can actually, when they're in that planning phase, try and work everything out. But we'll have to see how it goes, okay? So anyway, they're down and ready to go. Time has been started. Let me get that up on the screen as well. That time is not right. 1 hour 12 right now. Come on, open the timer app. Oh gosh, this is not a good table. I might have to get a mouse mat. Okay, but anyway, yeah, it's underway. So it's second day of competition now, day 1B. The second flight of the X-Wing European Championships. Let me just get this carrier bag off my table from when somebody asked me for a base peg. And so it's going to be interesting to see what we get doing with all this. I'm going to make my way into the chat as well. And I'm going to get a commentary partner showing up in just a minute. If you watched yesterday's stream, you will know of Julian Hood playing the Jedis, classified for day 2. On Sunday, is hanging around to support his 186 teammates, and as Dale's playing, he seems to have been convinced to take part in commentating with me. So he'll be joining us shortly. And Dale is a big name in British X-Wing. Now I've talked about before how I consider Jack Mooney to be one of the most accomplished X-Wing players at the highest level, at a world stage level. But Dale is definitely giving him a run for his money. Dale has taken titles from Italy, has competed to semi-final level in nationals in France, went over to the Minot Open and made the top 11 or something like that there. So yeah, a big name in British X-Wing. Everyone knows who Dale is, basically. Probably one of the people that's got most prize support, and there he's got those System Open templates as well. So yeah, everyone knows who Dale is and knows what he's capable of, especially with that signature list of his, the triple Imperial Aces. He's definitely something to watch out for. So thank you for joining us. We do know you have choices. But yeah, it should be a fun game either way. The camera off. Rafael de Linares. What are you talking about, Rafa? ¿De qué hablas? As I literally just come into chat, I have a cryptic message. So I don't know if I was missing something from the conversation before, but it doesn't make much sense to me right now. So they are aggressively moving up on Richard's right flank with both Suntir and Vader, whilst the Duchess kind of acts as the bait, I guess. Or a bonus flanker, I guess. Another thing I can say about Dale, one of the nicest people in X-Wing as well. Always very friendly. Even after some devastating losses. So that's one thing. You can be sure that when you get paired against Dale Cromwell, you can be sure that it's going to be a fun game. Let me move myself over here, where I can have more space to control. And you sit down there. Around a little bit. Okay, and you just have to basically just talk into that area there, and it will pretty much pick everything up. Okay. So yeah, Julian, you join me.
Hey mate, how's it going?
It's going well. Obviously, you've got a vested interest in seeing Dale play.
I do,
right?
I do.
Now, I'll just give you a quick hint, right? Because I see you looking at that screen, but this is where things are a little bit easier to watch. Okay?
Yeah,
right? Because people do that sometimes. People like sitting there like doing that. It's like you don't pay attention to the fact it's right there. But anyway, you played yesterday. You made the top cut for day 2, right? With Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the 2 Gold Squadron troopers. Yeah. Did you go 5-1 or 6-0?
5-1.
Yeah. What was when I saw you were in round 4, 5. You were in round 5, and you won round 5.
I played by round 6 on the stream.
Oh, it was round 6. Of course, yeah. You were playing to stay in, right?
So
yeah, okay.
I was on 4-1 coming into.
Awesome. So what game did you lose yesterday then?
My 5th.
And what was that against?
Versus full-on Jedi. So Annie and Obi both with R2 and 7B and a single torrent. So 10 points bid.
Right. Okay.
And sense on Obi. So 10-point bid.
Right. And so is it? So a lot of people have been saying how like the Jedi games are quite boring to watch. I mean, what was that game like? Was there a lot of evasive play?
It's all relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
It depends what you're looking for in the game. So I find them really interesting because it's a tense positional battle where getting exactly the right angle, baiting opponents, and just getting attack runs set up right so that you can swoop in, you can strafe, you can disengage. It's for me, it's fascinating, excellent.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, for playing the game.
Yeah.
Enormous fun. The difference is when you watch it. It's the same with like watching TIE Swarms. You're going to learn from watching this. I'm guessing Richard, I don't know, I've not seen him play before. He might be really quick about it. But as the board starts to get together, there's a lot more time spent in the planning phase. There's only so much time you can spend talking about. You're going to see how like towards the second half of the game, we're going to kind of shut up a little bit more and just be kind of looking at things because there's nothing more to say. It's just what it is. And you've got to wait for it all to play out. So what Dale's doing here is kind of pincering, right?
Yes.
He's presenting with Vader and Suntir on Richard's right flank, and Richard seems to have gone for that. And he's hoping to kind of confuse things from behind with the Duchess, right?
Yeah.
Right. Those SFs have got that option of firing forward and backwards as well, though. So it's not something that Richard's going to be particularly worried about right now.
Roll backwards.
And as you would know, as I've just mentioned, Dale, this is kind of a signature list for him, right? The triple ace, Imperial ace is Dale all over.
It is.
I think it's been about 2 years he's been playing that now. In some format or another.
Yeah. So we've got...
In this sort of situation with the fanatical advanced optics on the Omega squadrons,
so they're all hyper accurate.
Yeah. So 3 of them firing on Suntir Fel at range 2 like that.
One range 2, 2 range 3.
Yeah.
Suntir will sit there with 3 and 4 greens, focus evade.
So 2 bank
Vader and Suntir here.
Action number 1.
He's got to kind of blank out.
Shields on. They expect to strip the shields on that lead SF.
Yeah.
And then need to bug.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll go for number 2, the guy at the front, yeah?
He's going to target lock that front SF with Vader.
Action number 2, spend the force.
Spends the force.
B to focus.
To focus then.
Yeah, seems good. We're gonna do that. Right. So you've got no start combat stuff, neither have I. So let's start with, we'll start with Suntif. Now, Suntif fell start of combat, gets a focus because of bullseye. So
Suntif's ability gives him extra focus.
Range 2 at number 2. So I get 3, and you get 2.
Now they don't have the gunners, do they?
No, just the advanced optics and fanatical. Hit focus and another focus.
Yeah, you go.
Spends the focus for free.
Ooh,
2 blanks.
that's shields. And then Vader comes in with the crit afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Vader, range 2 as well. Yeah, sure. Onto that guy. So he gets 2 normally, plus the 1 from advanced targeting. Yeah. Okay.
And he's got 2 hits and a focus.
Spend a force.
Spends the force.
Force into a crit.
Yeah.
And then advanced
into a hit.
Into the
Convert
hit,
to crit,
and then the advanced targeting computer gives him another crit. And focus.
Has to burn.
Spends the focus.
Just
Takes the
crit.
face-up damage card. That's a loose stabilizer.
You're fine. You're fine. Right, and then maybe Duchess has got a shot. Range 2 into number 3. So 3 dice for me.
Okay, so Duchess firing on the one with the black base marker gets a hit and 2 focuses.
Just deciding if he burns that 5th brother force point.
One's fine.
Yeah, just 1. And he gets the evade.
All yours, buddy.
Oh, the ties.
The number 5 first.
So you got a range 3 on Suntir, and just out Vader.
So into the house.
Oh, attacking Suntir at range 3. Gets a focus.
So 4 for me.
Yeah, well, he's got the evade token as well, and so nothing's happening there.
Number 3. We'll see if he has more range.
No.
The rear tie doesn't have range to any of them.
Okay, number 2.
Yep. This guy.
So the
That's
forward,
range 2.
tie SF fires on Suntir Fell.
That's a 2 as well.
Oh, is that 2 as well, is it?
Well, he's got the option of Duchess though as well at range 2. Both at range 2.
Everyone's range 2.
I'll go for
Duchess is actually the much better target here.
Yeah,
2 versus 2. Duchess has a single one,
yeah,
so we should be looking at 2 hits, 2 hits, and 2 hits.
One
yeah.
sec.
I'm just going to
I
move that a
think
little
it's
bit.
'cause
That's
you
all
just
right. I
forgot
can move it,
but
right?
all your dials are backwards.
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
they?
They were based that way.
It's all good. It's all good. So everyone, there's no point you being forwards at all, is there? So no.
Only gunner one.
Yeah.
1 hit and 1 black focus
Two dice
gets
for me.
converted to 2. And Duchess rolls 2, gets 1 evade and a
and then a
focus. Spends the force from 5th brother. No damage there. Number 4 fires
Range 2.
on Duchess as well. He gets a blank and a focus, spends the focus, and he gets an evade.
All done.
And they're back to dials.
That's gone well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely worked out well for there. There's very little exchange of damage on his side of the board, whereas he's managed to strip shields and put a crit onto one of the other TIE fighters. So definitely worked out to his advantage in that engagement. And controlled the range very well as well. To be able to not have those 2 TIEs at the back, be able to fire this turn for being out of range. Well, no, one of them managed to get shot off on Suntir, right? But apart from that, he controlled that engagement, that range very well.
Yeah.
Now here is where it's going to be a question of what whether Richard tries to keep the ties as a cohesive unit or try to split them and try and concentrate fire on one side or the other.
Yeah.
If you were Richard here, what would your target priority would be Suntir the whole time, or?
So, I think you want Vader dead more than you want Suntir dead,
Mm-hmm.
but either one of them can solo several SFs.
Yeah.
I think it's a case of see what sticks.
Yeah.
So with the 5 ships in that facing, really what Richard wants to be doing is pinning one or both of those ships.
Yeah.
He's got the problem. He's got Duchess like doing a tight one in behind him now, and so he's still got his 2 dice out the back, which can take, with that many guns, can take Duchess off in a round.
Yeah, because Duchess would have.
If he removes Duchess and leaves the 2 6s intact,
Yeah.
I think he loses, but we'll see.
Okay.
Dale's going to have 3 modded shots, even if the blocks come in here.
Yeah.
And so we've got 1 SF on 2 hull, and Dale, presumably that's going to be...
That's Dale's
bumped.
target priority already.
Well, I
yeah.
think that one's going to be bumped, going to block one of the 2 aces.
Right.
However, Duchess potentially pings it from range, or leaves it, and all 3 go into another ship and just simply remove another.
Okay.
Suntir is going to be having focus and predator rerolls.
Yeah.
Vader's still got his force points even if he blocks.
Yeah.
And then Duchess will have both rerolls and her force point as well. And she's also, she's going to have an action too. So, all things being equal, this could be a very good turn for Dale.
So he took another damage because of the loose stabilizer for taking a turn
Wow.
maneuver.
Bold. Okay.
Yeah.
So that
It looks like he's just kind of maintaining the formation, just disengaged with the damaged tie.
I mean, if he gets the block with the red,
Yeah.
he's got the 3 range ones. But that's, I mean, that. Oh dear.
Onto the debris cloud, it would look
I mean,
like.
Unnecessarily bold there, I think. You know, he's taken that SF out of practicality for the next couple of rounds,
Yeah.
and then oh dear,
And bumped with that one, right?
yeah. So what could have been
Stuck to the 2s.
an opportunity has
Yeah.
been lost, really.
Right,
That's
so
a little sad.
Well, I'm sure he's got some reason, some plan he was going for. I guess he wants to try and prevent Vader and Suntir from going too fast and getting out of his way here.
But again, they will happily just take the bumps here.
Yeah.
Suntir does a 3 straight. He bumps red tie.
Yeah.
He's now got range 1, focused predator reroll shot into the trailing stressed tie.
The one that's on the cloud, yeah?
Duchess has got range 1 on it now as well,
Yep.
and she'll be double modded. No, she won't. Oh no, I think she might get that bullseye on the corner.
Yeah, maybe.
So-
She might just be out of range 1, though, I reckon.
Going to do
I don't know. It's one of those things from the angle, it's a bit hard to tell.
Yeah,
but
I
that is
it's like, if it's in range 1, it's probably in by about half a centimetre.
Yeah.
I'm hoping every
So Vader's even getting his action here,
Yeah.
which also lets Suntir bump into the back of Vader.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's going to do as his one action,
Ugh.
move his target lock to this guy.
Yeah.
Moves his target up to the 4.
Oh, is that actually? Sorry, just going to have a quick think about moving the target lock. None of it. It's only this guy that's damaged, isn't it? Yeah. It's only him, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. No, I've got to. Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking rubbish. I'm talking gibberish. Right. Target lock on number 1, and then spend the force to do a focus. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now Suntir is doing a 2 straight, but that is definitely not going to fit. So I'm just going to bump him into the back of lane here.
Suntir sets up,
Yeah.
still gets his action. Happy days.
Yep. Cool. That's fine. Just I like to talk.
But Suntir is eating
Sometimes
2 focused 3 die shots
right.
this
There we
turn.
go, and that's a bump.
Yeah, exactly. Those 2 ties at range 1. He's got the damaged tie's got a rear arc on him
Yeah.
as well. So, so 3 range 1 shots
Suntir first. Range
and
1,
2 range 2. assuming they don't take one off between the two of them.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's Suntir coming into the red
hit,
tie.
Yep, hit, crit, focus, focus.
How confident is Dale in his grins?
Rerolls. The Predator gets another crit. Doesn't spend any focuses. Takes 2 evades, takes a crit, and 1 shield.
Same amount of dice.
Vader does the same.
Okay, I will spend the force.
Spends the force to convert the 1 focus.
To do that.
And advanced targeting computer gives him a crit. And Wells, 1 focus result and 1 blank.
I'm hiding your focus token if you want to spend it. Or not. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to leave it there. That's why I use the big tokens, because I forget all the time.
I'll spend it.
Okay.
I can't take this going to do
No, that's fine. So that
spends the
means
focus,
you
takes 2 and a crit. So 2 shields and a face-up damage card for fuel leak.
Oh. Cool. Okay. Right. So that's all that shooting done. So now it's just Duchess' turn. Just going to see who Duchess can shoot at. How much life is this guy?
He's got 2.
But this guy's got 1. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a range 3 there. Range 2 to this guy. You've still got your focus token.
So could have gone better for Dale there. And Richard will be happy that he managed to keep that tile on the board.
Indeed. But the mods being stripped is not insignificant.
Yeah, Duchess is still to fight. There's still an opportunity to take her off.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Dale deciding now if he tries to just kill the 1 health,
Yeah.
or tries to.
Range 2.
So he
I
got
think he's going for the red
3
one.
dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
No credits up.
Gets
Okay,
1
so
crit,
no
1
credits
focus,
up,
and 1
so
blank.
that becomes-
so that's the force point.
Yeah. So the fourth. 2 crits looks like now. You got an evade and a blank.
Oh, it's fuel leak, right?
One
Yeah, it's
crit,
still
one
dead.
blade dead, yeah.
So it's dead anyway.
It's a direct hit.
And direct hit as well.
Very dead.
Okay, so this guy, this guy.
Alright, so not bad.
My target lock's gone, and your crit.
But like as we said, if Vader and Sunzer had been able to take that tie
Right,
off
now
by
it's time
themselves,
to light me up.
then Duchess could have taken off the other tie and he'd be down to just 3 ship shooting now. But so a little bit more cadence of fire coming at Dale's side of the board now.
Whoa!
There's
that's
a
really
hit,
good.
hit,
This
and a
guy
crit.
blanked
Blank, blank, focus. Spends the focus, takes hit
out.
and
So,
crit.
2 crits. This
2
this could be
crits.
sensitive.
Alas, Suntir.
Where's my damage deck here? To add the suspense. Hull
That's a
breach.
hull breach.
Before you would suffer. Ah, they're crits anyway. So.
And that's a
Direct hit.
direct hit.
Yep.
Dead Sundir. So all in all, not a bad trade for Richard.
That makes sense.
No.
And still having plenty of shots on
It
Vader.
It still has Dale up on points,
Yeah,
but it depends on what happens with Vader now.
yeah. Hit, crit,
Fire,
hit.
you're on fire.
We'll have to spend the focus.
Spend the
Blank,
so one
focus,
shield.
focus. Gets 2 evades. Takes 1.
Yeah, that's going to be a
3 dice for me.
And
2 blanks and a focus.
I think pretty sure it's range 1. Let me just double check for you. It's not obstructed either.
One.
1 crit
Come on, Vader.
and 2
No
focus.
force. Yes, yes,
And there's
yes.
1 evade.
If only Cynthia had that roll. Amazing, cool. Right. Okay, I don't need that dial anymore. Right, so he's stressed.
So I think realistically here, Duchess will go on to kill
Sorry, just for
the
my
1
own
health,
sanity.
putting Dale comfortably ahead.
Does it repair itself when you take damage? It does,
Sorry,
yeah?
1 sec. Sorry.
I think here Duchess just kills the 1 health SF following turn. Dale is then comfortably ahead on points.
Yeah.
Vader still hasn't used any afterburners charges, correct?
No, not
Fair
at all.
enough, fair enough.
So now we can have a disengage and just start chipping away, and it's kind of looking a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Throwing that SF onto the debris there is
Yeah.
going to prove really costly now,
Yeah.
because in effect it removes that chip from effectiveness for all the time Dale needs to recover, get his position back.
Regen force, sorry.
So yeah, it's an interesting position to be in. Dale was just quickly checking through his phone for information on cards and stuff like that. He's looking through the launch bay next app. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe because well, Vader's just gonna try and get behind them this turn. Is he gonna get arc on them though? I mean, I guess if he wanted to fire on them next turn, he's got to look for a K-turn, right?
So, because of the rear arcs, Vader K-turning here is probably not ideal.
No, of course
He doesn't have to engage this turn.
No, true.
And he can simply get some force back. So disengage, maybe get a cheeky target lock, maybe not. But he doesn't have to come straight back into him.
No, so maybe like a fast maneuver, a 3-bank 5 straight.
Exactly.
Leapfrog behind them, boost, barrel roll to get more range.
Yep.
Make sure he's as safe as possible. But it also means that you've got Duchess then is the one taking all the hits as well.
Duchess here can simply dial in her 1-bank left and decide where that tie is going. Now she can simply chase it down and knock it out. Because of the placement of that debris, Duchess will not be receiving any quality shots.
Would not be... Alright, so let's say if... right, well, here we go anyway. If this tie now turns into the left... No, okay, it doesn't do that.
Yep.
But then... so Duchess would be trying to chase that tie down. Would the other ties not just simply turn right anyway and try and get the rear arcs on Duchess?
Sure, but Duchess can hide behind the debris at range 3.
I guess.
With multiple defensive mods. And it's he's needing a really great variant swing on Richard's part for Duchess to be at any risk. Once the ship count drops to 3, Duchess can dodge comfortably 2 arcs a turn, if not 3.
Easily,
And Vader just does Vader things.
Yeah. Barrel rolls. I would have expected to see that one go backwards, but okay.
Oh yeah, sure, man. Yeah, side to side. Yeah.
Yep. No damage. So, he's got the because Duchess has the opportunity to use those ailerons, right? So he can use that to gain extra distance. Maybe even reposition a little bit thanks to doing it like a kind of an S-curve if he's gone for that 1-bank. Although if it's 1-bank left, not such a good idea. The debris token.
Okay, so just checking one more time. Right. Okay, 3 boost.
Yeah. So he's taken that ailerons to the left, and it looks like a 1 straight. Yeah, 1 straight.
1 straight.
Does he risk the one shot here? Or just wait till next turn?
Oh, it's so close.
Are you talking about him trying to like reposition to get out of arc of the SF, right? Yeah. And I think he doesn't have arc on the damaged tie there.
No.
No. Vader did a short maneuver in the end.
Action number 1, target lock. Is 3 or 5 damage or full health?
So he's gonna just sit there and tank 2 shots.
No shot from Vader.
2 plays 3. 2 plays 3.
Yeah.
No shot from Duchess.
No, Duchess and Vader don't get a shot this turn. So the SF's fire on Vader. 1 focus. 1 evade. One blank, 1 focus. Yeah, and the only one left is the damage tie firing on Duchess and gets 1 hit. Spencer taken for a crit. Blank, blank, blank on Duchess. Takes 2 hits. No, and a face-up damage card as well. Oh no. All right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's a normal hit. Oof, and back to dials. Okay. So basically, getting the damage on Duchess there was basically free for Richard. I mean, it's kind of like bonus. Wasn't expected, but it definitely works out in his favour. We're still probably going to see another turn where Vader doesn't engage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in a bad position to be able to get back into the fight this game without compromising himself. And so it's just Duchess just still trying to wipe off that 1 damage tie.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that that rollout was really necessary. The trailing stressed SF with no mods.
2 dice.
Expected damage into Duchess. If she just not rolled and just focused.
Yeah.
Expected damage is comfortably less than 1.
Yeah.
And Duchess had a better than average chance of dropping that tie before it shot.
I get that. Yeah. The only thing I would add is that like it's just that, but that's the way you play aces, right? The best way to play aces is not to get shot.
But sometimes you have to decide: is there a trade where you've got a good percentage to do it? And I think he had it there.
Yeah, before doing the barrel roll, it was close to the arc. You know, you could have sit there and said, maybe I'll still be in arc afterwards, maybe I'll still get the shot. It's hard to say. Now, what I would guess is probably going to happen is that the damage tie is probably going to turn right, making it harder for Duchess to pursue, and she's going to be coming straight into face those 3 ties. Rick Ness says hi from Holland. Rick Van Ness, sorry.
Van Ness, yeah. It was disappointing he's not here playing.
Yeah. Especially with a Dutch team at the XTC and everything.
They were phenomenal this year.
And they're great players.
Yeah.
They always are. I mean, Farn, Rick Van Ness as well. Rick Porcius, Farn, Jelte. Jelte's not here either. I suppose he's got World Championship to go to.
The team Horn as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Nils, Sander.
Yeah.
All of, you know.
And Wouter from last year's European Championship hasn't managed to make it either.
He's team Horn as well.
Yeah.
Really good guys and girls.
Not met the girls, so
Laura is Sander's other half.
Okay.
Super lovely.
Sander Neeft, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, right. So yeah, the damage tie, was turned to the right, and the other 3 ties seem to be making a blocking screen, basically making it a bit harder for Duchess to get through. Kind of spreading out a bit. So advanced ailerons, depending on what maneuver he's done. If it was a short bank, he probably wants. If he wants to get to that purple tie.
Well, there are effectively three ties who are going towards their own board edge now.
Yeah.
So Duchess with a right-oriented manoeuvre, banking left and then executing right, gets her following behind.
Yeah.
But
pass me that mouse there, and do you know what you can do? It's a bit. You've got to be fidgety with it, right? But if you want to try and explain stuff a bit more complicated, you can draw. You can go. So you want her to go to the left, bank with the left.
Yeah.
Right. And then what do you think? She's turning to the right.
And well, she can bank or turn.
So maybe
she can make her way high.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. But
So
this one did the signals loop, so he's going that way, or the K turn
right.
rather. Yeah. This one's going in that direction.
That's right.
And this one's in this direction
That's right.
for the next time. So heading over to this side of the board. It isn't really, even though it's what she's done while I was talking about it, it isn't really giving him any advance in as far as game state is concerned.
It's setting up for the next couple of turns.
Yeah, I guess what we're going to see Vader do. Vader K turns.
Vader has his safe re-engage set now.
Yeah.
Not enough of those ties can come back in on Vader.
No.
And Vader is now threatening the 1 health to not come back in.
Yeah.
Which hopefully then gives the re-engage time for Duchess.
Yeah.
And the two of them can start, ideally, trading 2-for-1 shots.
Okay. They're asking if you're going to World Championships this year, Julian.
Yeah.
You got invite. Do you have a flight? No, right?
No flight, but yeah, invite.
You got the invite. You won 2 regionals, right?
Yeah, so actually I got my invite from coming runner-up in a hyperspace trial. I then won another couple of hyperspace trials, and
yeah, okay.
So
the hyperspace trial you came runner-up was because the person who won already had the invite, and it got passed down to you, and then you've since gone on to win more, and that invite got passed down.
That's right.
I think that's how Alex Burt got his.
That's right. Yeah,
you had to face off at Cardiff.
That's correct.
All right, and you already had yours, so he got his. Right. But then who knows? Maybe you'll get the flight paid for this weekend, huh? Yeah,
that'd be the dream.
How many Australians in general will be making it? Because now you've got the system open next week.
Yeah.
But one of the issues with the system open is that if somebody wins the system, for the people that don't win the system open, even for the person that wins the system open, it's a very short period of time to get everything in order.
It is.
To be able to travel to the US. And for the other 8 people that get the invite, the 7 people that get the invite for top 8, then once again, have they already budgeted? Have they already arranged flights and hotels?
I know there's a bunch of Aussies making the trip.
Yeah. Even without invites or...
Yeah, because the last chance qualifier, a lot of the guys going of a level where it would be...
You've got some huge wildcard players.
Incredibly surprising for them not just to get straight in.
And you had your OTC recently?
That's the week after the system open.
That's right.
So,
I know I'd seen posts about it.
Yeah. It's going to be a big couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Australian X-Wing goes hardcore this week. this next couple of weeks. And it was worth it. It's like... It was always a subject, wasn't it? That Australia never got the system open to begin with. And it was always a sore spot. And it made sense to eventually get an Australian X-Wing, Australian system open. I think the real issue that was holding it back was more about having a local distribution team on the ground that could be... what's the word that they felt that they could collaborate with to an extent to be able to do such an event.
To describe the people who had been in charge of OP in Australia as inept would be incredibly generous. Things have improved drastically now.
Yeah,
but it was honestly embarrassing. There was a period of time where the entire community was just flabbergasted at the constant failures
Yeah.
to get anything organised. Entire store championship kits for the last store championship wave of, I think it was 1.0.
Yeah.
Just forgot to order them. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Great, well
I
done.
heard about that. That's
Then
true. I heard about that. Yeah.
A team of the top Australian players managed to organise a bunch of kits to come into Australia,
Yeah.
which were given to the OP people to distribute,
Yeah.
and they managed to lose one of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Lose
failure
one.
upon failure. It was
Yeah, I did hear about
Embarrassing.
that. It was just like they just kind of skipped over them. Yeah.
33 minutes remaining in your round.
And that was, I mean, that was it. Is that the first couple of years, that was really the issue when, well, especially the first year when they did the System Opens, when they announced where they were going to be. It was like, it was very clear that these regions were chosen because it's where they have a reliable distributor.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
As a kind of on the ground partner that they could
Absolutely.
trust and deal with.
they're big events.
Yeah.
It's easy to overlook just how much goes into making something like this work,
Mm.
or a System Open work. It's
And do we know how many people have signed up for the Australian System Open already?
it's 300 something. Like, excepting Milton Keynes, it's the biggest of the System Opens.
Yeah. So hit crit. Rolls one evade and takes 2 shields on the blue tie set, I think it is, number 4.
That's what you want, Dale.
Yeah, another hit crit. There's 2 focuses there. Takes another one, a shield, a card, and a face-up damage card, being a structural damage.
Dale praying for the double there.
That's me done, mate.
So that's 2 one-hull SFs at this point, yes?
Yep. Now there's 2. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's range 3 obstructed. 5 for me.
Also not optimal fanatic.
Fanatical, yeah.
Hit and crit through the rock at Vader. Gets 2 evades with no problem there with so many dice. Spends the force though.
Sorry. Back to
1 hit, 1 focus. And there you've got 2 evades.
So that's. Sorry, I just checked that and didn't even pay attention. Range 2.
Range 2 on the Duchess from the black tie SF. Gets a hit and a focus, becomes 2. There's 2 focuses.
So it's your force point and evade token.
Yeah.
Happy days.
And still 1 more attack to go.
Yep.
And gets 2
Alas.
blanks. 2 damage go through on Duchess, and she's down. With those blanks. Mm-hmm. And are you heading over for the SOS in Australia? No, right?
Sorry?
You're not going to Australia for the System Open?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay. Phew. Okay, well done. I mean, it makes sense, yeah, you wouldn't want to miss it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, so I fly out Wednesday, play SOS, and I play in the OTC the following week.
All right, okay, well done. And what team are you in OTC?
My home team, AC2,
Which is...
Canberra,
Okay.
uh,
What's the AC for then?
Australian Capital Territory.
Right,
So
of course,
it's-
yeah,
It's,
Canberra.
it's a territory that sits inside New South
Yeah,
Wales.
it's kind of like Washington,
and then
DC.
Canberra
or
is
something.
like the city, which is basically all that's in
Yeah.
the AC2. That and
Okay.
a bunch of national park.
Okay, cool. And you've probably got several people coming over from New Zealand, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of Kiwis coming over.
And
guys from Singapore.
Southeast Asia, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's pretty much this is like the only chance they got.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like starting to get like a lot more engagement
Yeah.
with the kind of oceanic community in general.
Yeah.
For the OTC this year, we have, among other things, teams coming from Singapore, from New Zealand, and it's
Awesome.
Just building this bigger community. It's wonderful.
Yeah, awesome.
Bring that away. Towards me.
Okay. So, trying to cover all the bases here with Vader, right? It's just like saying, okay, I don't know where you're going to go, but just in case.
But you've got the ships.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
What you got to do.
And this one bumps. Richard speaks very low. I can barely hear what he's saying.
Right, all done.
Okay. So yeah, Vader just kind of free straights into the middle of it all.
Yeah.
And I would guess
Any fashion.
afterburners, barrel roll. I don't think he wants to be there.
Still a good shot by nearly everyone.
Just about half an hour left in the round. And Vader, 4 TISFs, he can do it.
I mean,
But it means a lot of time. It takes a lot, and there's a lot of ground to catch up as far as points are concerned. He needs to try and get those 2 that are damaged off the board, who have honestly been hanging around for too long. Well,
Yes.
the first one has anyway.
so I think is that Vader barrel roll left. Burn all force for a target lock and focus. Oh, he's got the target lock already. So burn 1 force for a focus. Kill off that number, whichever is off on the
Number
left,
4, yeah.
and then eat two die shots.
Focuses.
It's not unreasonable. Or he's got the arc there anyway and just tank it.
It's a lot to tank though.
It is.
Yeah. That's a
Interesting.
cock die.
So that's the cop.
So he's got a hit, a focus, and a blank. Another hit. The blank gets re-rolled for the fire control system.
The ACC.
The advanced targeting computer gives him a crit. So he's got 2 focus results, and he spends the focus token.
Only 2 agility, right? Oh,
He had a structural damage.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he didn't need to spend that focus at all. the two hits guaranteed the kill,
yeah.
but no crit marker in play. Or was there?
There was a crit
sorry.
marker on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at those.
He had the crit marker in the target lock.
Yes,
right
he did.
behind
He
it,
did.
yeah.
Sorry.
Moment now. That could have made everything fine. Looks like raise 1.
3 hits.
In every way.
Blanks.
Right, 1 life left.
So down to 1 hit
half.
point.
Cool. Next. Yep.
Like as I said, it's a lot to tank.
Yeah.
3 hits, and looks like blanks
Yeah.
again. And Dale Cromwell gets blasted off the board by the 5 SFs in the first round of the European Championship. Thank you for joining me, Julian. Okay.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Best of luck at the SOS.
Thank you.
And because you've got 2 streams there as well, the local guys doing it as well. Yeah,
So we've got.
that's awesome.
And then Dion's coming over to do it as well. So
cool. And well, I'll be looking forward to watching it to see how you do, and the OTC. Well, the only problem is I always catch it when I wake up in the morning, like it's at the end, like when general games. Where is it this year?
so somewhere in Sydney, I can't remember.
Right, so we wouldn't know what stream.
It's all kind of
channel
blurring into one. Like
Okay,
where
cool.
I've got
Well,
it.
best of luck anyway, and
Thanks,
best of luck
buddy.
at Worlds.
Appreciate
Okay, see you. Well played. Didn't go the way you were expecting it to go.
It
I'm
did
pretty
not.
Sure. There was basically you lost all your ships to like a really heavy dice roll variance,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
like Suntir went down like excuse me, like a really simple like shot from one of the SFs as well.
Yep.
Duchess, that last roll there from her was like those 2 damage went through.
Took 2 out of hand.
And then with Vader on that last, not the last roll, but the roll before it, where it just went 4 damage through when you blanked out.
Yeah.
It just kind of went completely against expectations.
I mean that's how I play though. I play the variants, and they could just as easily have all survived, and every one of them didn't. So
I mean, and that's kind of what you're playing with when you play your free aces.
You've got to take that gamble.
It's kind of it's one of those like high ceiling sort of things where like if everything goes your way and you can absolutely destroy everything. And that's why you've got to be more careful with your positioning. And we saw you, for example, barrel roll Vader. Was it barrel roll Duchess left, losing arc and the opportunity to shoot that one turn, just to be able to make sure that she wasn't taking shots.
And I only did that because I took 2 out of hand the turn before. So normally I'll just right in there, set up the predator shot, job done. But when to lose it, then still have your focus token and stuff like that it's just how it goes sometimes. And then Suntir getting 2 blanks and a focus and getting 2 crits and one of them being direct hit, it's just classic, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I mean, one of the things is it doesn't mean it's over yet. There's still the opportunity to do that submarine.
Submarine.
Come up from the bottom levels. Although I will tell you that I just found out Lukasz Golonka just got defeated, and so he's going to be down in that bottom pair as well. I'm sure there's going to be lots of top names down that bottom pair, that bottom half of the table. But anyway, best of luck for the rest of your games, man. Nice to see you again.
You too, man.
And like I say, good luck. I want to see how far you get.
Yeah, today. Me too. Cheers, mate.
If things go terrible, you've lost 3 games in a row, there's a seat here for you.
No, it'd be amazing. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Fingers crossed. Cheers, mate.
Let me go get. Can you go tell Richard to pop over? Sit down, Richard.
Hello.
Well done, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, come a bit closer.
Sure.
One thing I've been how do I say this? Right. So every ATC, I'm a bit of a data nerd, and so I deep dive into the data after every ETC, and I've been doing that with this data. And the one thing that if you guys at the XTC might have noticed is that I've been asking people for their individual records, because that's the information we didn't have. And so I don't know, how did you do at the XTC for Team Scotland? What was your win-loss ratio?
I won 3 games and lost 7.
Yeah.
I think a part of it was jitters, though. I lost all 5 games in day 1.
Jitters?
Yeah.
Right. The one thing I'll say quickly before, now, a lot of people turn around and tell me, but it's a team tournament, the individual record isn't important, and that's 100% right. But like the distribution of win-loss is important in a team game. And specifically in this whole thing where you have the pairing game beforehand, there's a possibility that like you can make it into an XTC team not being a fantastic player. You can be like the ringer where, no, you are there, you're a terrible player, or maybe a mid-level player. You're there to take the top dog from the other team. That's the way the pairing's going to go. Okay, right, we want to get our suckiest player to just take the best player they've got, so that we know he's going to win whoever he plays against. So then our worst player takes him, don't care, and the other 4 players have got more of a fighting chance, right? So even though you went 3-7, that doesn't mean in any way that kind of like a reflecting on your capability. But I wanted to ask just to make sure before we went any further. And just then, you faced up against one of the highest, what's the word in English, because I'm thinking about it in Spanish now, the most decorated British players around, right? It's like you see Derek Dale, and he's got all of his prize tournament stuff, all his templates, all his little shiny stuff. And it's definitely, and for his fame as well, he's very famous in the British community. Everyone knows who he is, and he's one of the friendliest guys as well. So you have to face against him, and that must have been quite nerve-wracking as well. I'm
not going to lie, when I went up to the pairings board and saw the name Dale Cromwell, I did say a little quiet swear word under my breath.
Also, it's also, you come all this way and you end up getting paired against the British guy as well. But anyway, and it worked out well for you. You had really good positioning with the ties. You managed to keep your arcs in the right places, be able to get multiple shots on any one of his ships at a time, and that was like kind of the big part of your play. I mean, it's what you need to do against the free aces. You need to have multiple shots on them. You need to start stripping tokens with the first few shots, and then have the other shots just pray for dice variance to get to pound through. And that's pretty much what you got. You had like that first turn, you had 3 shots on Sunta, and you just managed to get that lucky roll where he blanked out. You had those 3 hits. He goes pop. It was a direct hit, wasn't it? Took him down at Suntin.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, he went. He went hit, direct hit, dead. Yeah, and then once again with Duchess, you were lucky to get 2 hits through, and a couple of turns later, another 2 hits through. At a moment where I don't think he expected it either.
Yeah.
And then Vader, that last but one attack that you had on Vader, where you just kind of stripped 4 hit points off him directly.
Yes.
Kind of like left him shaking, and I can't see any way that you could have played it better. I don't know what you felt about the game.
There were a few points I was kicking myself where I self-bumped.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a little bit of nerves at playing on stream. I went in a little too aggressively and bumped into the back of my other ships.
Yeah.
When I should have gone a little bit slower, played a little more carefully.
Okay.
But one thing I've found with this list is that on paper it's very low variance, because all your upgrades are playing into improving your offense consistency.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got lots and lots of hull and shields. But it's variance prone in that it does depend on the opponent's green dice. If your opponent's green dice are good, because you're limited to 2 hits at best.
Yeah.
Your shots can fail to do
anything. You're rolling 2 dice, so variance there is a really narrow sort of gap anyway. But your problem is like when you're facing people that are rolling 3+ green dice. The more green dice there are, the more difficult it is for you to punch through. And even there, you've been facing 5 green dice, and you've still managed to walk away comfortably from that game. That was a very comfortable win for you. And so, I think that's worked out really well for you and in your favour in that respect. I think you played it very well, even when you did self-bump. It was situations where you didn't really have many other options with the number of ships you were moving around, the tight space you were trying to occupy.
That's true.
It was just something was gonna bump one way or the other. And I think you made the best choices to bump the best ship at the time. And I think it went really well. That's my takeaway from it anyway. Okay, so thank you very much for appearing on stream. I hope you had fun.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Right. Okay, best of luck for the rest of the rounds.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.